The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Tuesday, February 4, reveals that Holden will pose as Damien King once again and deepen his deception. For Holden's next trick, it looks like Damien will give Nate Hastings an ultimatum. Damien might bargain with Nate and hint that he's willing to speak with Amy Lewis despite his previous refusal. The catch is Damien may want to know what this is all about before he'll officially agree to that meeting. If Damien doesn't get a full explanation, he may vow to disappear and never look back. Once Nate's feeling cornered, he might come clean about Amy's terminal illness and the half-brother revelation that roped him into this mess. Of course, that could lead to Holden taking what he's learned back to the real Damien, who'll be waiting for more news. Once Damien knows his mother is dying, will that change his mind about a family reunion? Other Y&R spoilers say Nick Newman will give Sharon Newman an incredible gift in the form of closure. Thanks to Nick's idea, Sharon will be able to close the door on everything she's been through and look to the future. At Billy Abbott's place, he'll spend some time canoodling with Sally Spectra. However, it seems Phyllis Summer's surprise interruption will lead to some conflict. Phyllis will show up at the door, perhaps to give Billy an answer about whether she's willing to join Billy's new media empire, along with Daniel Romalotti Jr. That'll give Phyllis a chance to see Sally's decor choices, so she may make some disapproving comments. Sally will find a way to get under Phyllis' skin as well, so the hostility that results will leave Billy in a tight spot. Billy may pipe up about loving Sally's interior designs, but he might sing Phyllis praises about her own unique skills. If Phyllis and Daniel officially join his new venture, Billy may make a prediction that they won't regret it. Phyllis will likely assure Billy that she's looking forward to working together. Even if Daniel hasn't fully agreed by then, Phyllis may promise that she can convince him it's the right call. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Billy will have to juggle his romance with Sally and his working relationship with Phyllis, so stay tuned for updates on all the complications. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless scoop for the week of February 3 reveals Phyllis Summers will learn shocking news from Daniel Romalotti. Also coming up, Diane Jenkins will need to make a choice. Plus, Chloe Mitchell will share some history with Sally Spectra, and Nate Hastings will get a surprise. Y&R spoilers tease Diane will make a big decision, and it could be about her work on Jabot Classic. Or will it have something to do with Jack Abbott and Kyle Abbott? Y&R Weekly Scoop. Damien tells Holden to keep pretending. Meanwhile, now that Sally is dating Billy Abbott, Chloe will open up to her friend. So she'll share some tidbits about she and Billy's past. But how much of their relationship will Chloe decide to include? At the park, Holden will tell the real Damien King what happened with Nate, and Damien will instruct Holden to keep pretending to be him. However, later in the week, Nate will receive a surprise visitor. But will it be the real Damien himself? Other Y&R spoilers tease Nick Newman will help Sharon Newman find some closure. Plus, Billy will referee an encounter between Phyllis and Sally. And Nikki Newman will coach Claire Newman. Finally, Daniel will tell Phyllis and Summer Newman that Sharon has been completely exonerated. What? Phyllis replies on Monday's I&R. Sharon's going to have another corpse on her hands, because the only way she's getting away with this is over my dead body. Young and the Restless scoop. Another corpse on Sharon's hands. But Daniel will say Sharon didn't kill Heather Stevens. Michael Baldwin told him Ian Ward confessed. Phyllis will say it's convenient he confessed to it right before he died. It sounds like a ploy to get Sharon off for murder. Phyllis will point out that Sharon will still have to pay for dumping Heather's body and framing him. However, Daniel will tell her the DA isn't pursuing any charges. Maybe Sharon has suffered enough, he'll add. Maybe it's time for us to move on from it. But will Phyllis be able to do that? The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Monday, February 3, reveals that Jack Abbott will be taken aback when Kyle Abbott fills him in on all the Newman clan's Jordan and Ian Ward danger. It'll leave Jack feeling like he needs to pay Nikki Newman and her family a visit, so he'll show up shortly after Victor Newman comes home from the hospital. However, Victor will ask what the hell Jack is doing there and basically act like he's using this as an opportunity to hover around Nikki. After Victor makes it clear they're all doing fine now on their own, Jack will decide to head home. As Jack's about to leave, Victor will pass along a message to Kyle and urge him to stay away from Claire Newman. Jack will defend Claire and Kyle's relationship since they're grown adults, but Victor will warn that he doesn't like it. Victoria Newman and Nikki will try to convince Victor to back off, but he'll seem determined to get Claire on his side and make her loathe the Newmans as much as him. At the Abbott mansion, Kyle will give Diane Jenkins Abbott updates on the Jordan and Ian chaos, so that'll lead to a conversation about Claire's bravery and resilience. Diane will sense that something has shifted for Kyle and will think he's really falling for Claire. That'll worry Diane a bit since Victor could try to come between them, but Kyle will invite Victor to go ahead and try. As far as Kyle's concerned, any effort Victor makes will prove futile. Once Jack returns, he'll privately share Victor's warning with Diane and plan to protect his son's romance from Victor's targeting. At Nate Hastings' apartment, Audra Charles will bring a couple of vanilla lattes with oat milk, one for Nate and another for Damien. Audra will hint that sometimes siblings like the same stuff. Once Damien King arrives for their meeting, he'll be intrigued by Audra and will almost seem a bit flirty. Damien will also turn down the latte since he's more of a tea person. After Audra heads to the coffee house, she'll try to distract Amy Lewis from her nervousness. Audra will end up talking about her alcoholic father and her distant mother, who only paid attention to her if they were fighting. Back at Nate's place, he'll admit there's no job offer and that he had another reason for getting in touch. Nate will note that Amy reached out to him for help, which will confuse Damien since she could have just gone to a PI. Although Nate won't be willing to go into the details, he'll act like everything will be explained if Damien meets with Amy. Damien will sense the urgency in Nate's voice, but Nate still won't be willing to spill too much yet. In the end, Damien will snap at Nate for being such a time waster. After Damien shuts down the idea of meeting Amy due to their falling out, he'll take off. Nate will meet up with Amy and Audra to give them the bad news soon after. Once Nate explains how it all went down with Damien, Amy will get emotional over her disappointment. Nate will end up fearing that might have been his only chance to connect with his half-brother. Since the visit was strange, Nate will also feel there's a huge piece of the puzzle missing here. In the park, Damien will meet with another man, who'll turn out to be the real Damien King, Jermaine Rivers. The guy posing as Damien will be named Holden and will share the details of his meeting, including the fact that they seemingly knew Damien's coffee order. Although Damien won't be interested in seeing his mom again, he'll be suspicious of this whole situation. Damien will want to know more about the agenda in play, so he'll encourage Holden to keep pretending to be him. At Society, Phyllis Summers will blow her top over Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s news about Sharon Newman getting cleared of all charges. When Daniel mentions Ian Ward's confession, Phyllis will act like it's a ploy that Michael Baldwin and Sharon's other enablers cooked up. Nevertheless, Daniel and Summer Newman will convince Phyllis to stand down, so she'll put her focus on Billy Abbott's pitch in Monday's I&R episode. Billy will work to sell Phyllis and Daniel on joining his new media empire, which Jack is backing financially. It won't take long for Phyllis to get on board, but an unconvinced Daniel will think they need time to mull it over. Once Billy walks off, Phyllis will wonder what the problem is, so Daniel will make a prediction about Billy always being doomed to fail. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Billy will keep looking to the future, so stay tuned to see if he might emerge victorious for once. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that there are 3 must-see moments for the week of February 3, 2025. Fans can expect Holden to continue impersonating Damien. Audra Charles opens up about her painful past to Amy Lewis. Plus, Chloe Mitchell gives Sally Spectra keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Damien's well-intentioned deception. E&R spoilers for the week of February 3 reveal that one must-see moment features Damien and Holden. It turns out that there is a reason why Nate Hastings' description of Damien sounded unfamiliar to Amy. That's because the real Damien is having Holden impersonate him. It sounds like it's not to be sinister, but because Damien wants to know the truth of why he's being sought out. Amy Lewis shock. Even though Nate does tell fake Damien about Amy, he doesn't explain the sickness or his own relationship to the Empire owner. At some point this week, Amy and Nate both receive a shock. So it sounds like Holden might admit he's not the real Damien. It's also possible that Damien hires his own PI to look into Nate. Back to Damien, if he really has gone from a lost soul to an Empire owner, then he's right to be suspicious of fake job offers and deceptive meetings. Money and success has a way of bringing out a lot of people from the past, so Damien is likely just trying to protect himself. However, is he really not interested to find out what Amy has to tell him? Audra Charles past. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of February 3 reveal that another must-see moment focuses on Audra. Fans recall that when Audra was working at Newman Media, she opened up to Nikki Newman about losing her father to alcoholism. However, nothing was mentioned about Audra's mother. So expect Amy to question Audra about her own childhood. Audra will open up about the pain of her mother's neglect. Week of February 3. Next week, fans will also see Chloe give Sally a bit of a history lesson. Does this have anything to do with Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers? This week, Sally will also push Phyllis buttons. With Billy also making a deal with Phyllis, it sounds like things are about to get quite complicated. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of February 3, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what is coming up next. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. The drama is ramping up on the Young and the Restless as the window for rescuing Sharon narrows and the walls close in on Jordan. What will happen next? Read on to find out. Much has been said on social media about Sharon being held captive in an underground sewer during a freezing Wisconsin winter. Fans are questioning how she has managed to survive with nothing more than a glitzy New Year's Eve jumpsuit. The mystery of how she hasn't succumbed to hypothermia continues to baffle viewers. Meanwhile, Nick has been pressing Chance about the urgency of finding Sharon, though he hasn't been specific about why time is running out. But hey, it's a soap opera. At this point, Sharon is alive but no longer chained. However, she has collapsed, most likely due to exhaustion, the effects of the drugs, and severe dehydration. She recently discovered that the only water left for her had been tainted, adding to her deteriorating condition. While Sharon fights to survive, Chance and Nick are getting closer to finding her. They are set to discover Jordan's lipstick print on a glass in a motel room, a crucial clue that may lead them straight to Sharon. Nick's desperation to locate Sharon continues to grow, and it's only a matter of time before he finds her. In fact, fans won't have to wait long at all. Sneak peek images reveal Nick arriving in the sewer in Wednesday's episode. But is this real, or could it be another hallucination from Sharon? After all, it wouldn't be the first time she imagined her knight in shining armor coming to the rescue. Meanwhile, Claire has put a plan in motion to rid herself and her family of crazy Aunt Jordan once and for all. But what exactly is she up to? Preview photos of Claire and Jordan's upcoming scenes have left fans puzzled. Claire's strategy seems to rely on convincing Jordan that they are still on the same team, working together against the Newmans. However, Claire may be crossing a dangerous line by bringing her diabolical aunt into the family's inner sanctum, the Tack House. Yes, you heard that right. Jordan is about to step foot into Victoria's home, the same place where Katie and Johnny live. Given the risk, we're honestly shocked that Jordan agreed to walk into what could very well be a trap. According to Young and the Restless Spoilers, by Thursday, something big is set to unfold. Could Claire luring Jordan onto Newman property be part of a carefully laid-out plan? The Young and the Restless Spoilers reveal that Nick Newman has been a strong source of support for Sharon Newman throughout her awful ordeal. But what does that mean for their future? There are no guarantees that Sharon and Nick's bond will ever become anything more than friendship again. Although plenty of Nick and Sharon supporters would love to see them back together romantically, there's a chance they'll keep it platonic and preserve the relationship they have now. With that in mind, we should at least consider some other romantic possibilities for Nick. It's been a while since Nick had a proper love interest, so who will he be paired up with next on My&R? Nick recently shared some interesting scenes with Chelsea Lawson and showed off his protective side. It's obvious that Nick doesn't trust Adam Newman to respect boundaries now that Chelsea's living under the same roof. Nick is Chelsea's former flame and is always going to care about her, so he won't approve as Chelsea and Adam grow closer. It'd be easy for Y&R to turn this into another brother love triangle if they wanted to. Chelsea has been reluctant to surrender to temptation with Adam and go back down a risky road. Could Chelsea eventually view Nick as an option that's safer and more stable? If Nick continues to step up as Chelsea's defender, maybe it could build somewhere. Joshua Morrow and Melissa Claire Egan have always been open about how much they enjoy working together, so they probably wouldn't mind a Nick and Chelsea romantic redo. It's probably only a matter of time before Adam goes off the rails again and gets himself kicked out of the family. If Nick were to swoop in and steal Chelsea's heart, that'd be a quick way to push Adam over the edge. How would you feel about a Chelsea and Nick reunion twist? Could that be what leads Adam back down a sinister path? The Young and the Restless Spoilers say some love life updates are coming up in Genoa City, so stick with us for more romantic predictions and any major couple news ahead. The Young and the Restless Spoilers and updates tease Audra Charles is on the brink of a tumultuous family reunion. In the episode airing on February 3, she will confide in Amy Lewis about her challenging upbringing, providing a glimpse into her experiences growing up with her parents. Audra had an alcoholic father. Audra has previously shared her experience of having a father who succumbed to alcoholism, and she will revisit that painful chapter by acknowledging her dad's struggles with drinking. In response to the turmoil, Audra's mother withdrew into herself, isolating from the world even as her daughter craved her support, setting up a vicious cycle. Despite Audra's attempts to bridge the gap, her mother consistently distanced herself. In truth, Audra realizes that the only moments when her mother seemed to notice her were during their arguments. This dynamic inevitably led to a fraught relationship between them. Tension would build between them. There's no question that if Audra's mother makes a comeback, their encounters will be fraught with tension. Yet this could be the perfect opportunity to delve deeper into Audra's family dynamics, allowing fans to meet someone significant in her life. Imagine the drama when Audra's mother storms into Genoa City. Audra might take a leap of faith, trying to mend their fractured relationship. But beware, if her mother remains as aloof and unapproachable as ever, things could spiral into chaos. It's obvious Audra didn't get what she needed from her mother, and was basically on her own as a child, at least emotionally if not physically. There may not be warm fuzzies. Audra's mom might agree to meet her, but that doesn't guarantee a heartwarming reunion. the tension between them could flare up again, especially if her mother finds a reason to linger in GC, perhaps a new job or even a romantic interest. The show is dropping clues about Audra's mother through her reflections on the past, paving the way for her eventual appearance and opening up fresh narrative possibilities for both characters. The implication is that Audra and her mother fought like cats and dogs, so her mother's arrival likely will only bring her pain. Our predictions for Y and R suggest that fans could soon witness the drama of Audra's family reunion, so stay tuned for all the latest updates on this unfolding chaos. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease Audra Charles is on the brink of a tumultuous family reunion. In the episode airing on February 3, she will confide in Amy Lewis about her challenging upbringing, providing a glimpse into her experiences growing up with her parents. Audra had an alcoholic father. Audra has previously shared her experience of having a father who succumbed to alcoholism, and she will revisit that painful chapter by acknowledging her dad's struggles with drinking. In response to the turmoil, Audra's mother withdrew into herself, isolating from the world even as her daughter craved her support, setting up a vicious cycle. Despite Audra's attempts to bridge the gap, her mother consistently distanced herself. In truth, Audra realizes that the only moments when her mother seemed to notice her were during their arguments. This dynamic inevitably led to a fraught relationship between them. Tension would build between them. There's no question that if Audra's mother makes a comeback, their encounters will be fraught with tension. Yet, this could be the perfect opportunity to delve deeper into Audra's family dynamics, allowing fans to meet someone significant in her life. Imagine the drama when Audra's mother storms into Genoa City. Audra might take a leap of faith, trying to mend their fractured relationship. But beware, if her mother remains as aloof and unapproachable as ever, things could spiral into chaos. It's obvious Audra didn't get what she needed from her mother and was basically on her own as a child, at least emotionally if not physically. There may not be warm fuzzies. Audra's mom might agree to meet her, but that doesn't guarantee a heartwarming reunion. The tension between them could flare up again, especially if her mother finds a reason to linger in GC, perhaps a new job or even a romantic interest. The show is dropping clues about Audra's mother through her reflections on the past, paving the way for her eventual appearance and opening up fresh narrative possibilities for both characters. The implication is that Audra and her mother fought like cats and dogs, so her mother's arrival likely will only bring her pain. Our predictions for Y and R suggest that fans could soon witness the drama of Audra's family reunion, so stay tuned for all the latest updates on this unfolding chaos. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates for February sweeps tease some pretty interesting previews and predictions. It looks like we're in for romance, revenge, and reunions, so get ready for a wild ride. Revenge and reunions. Sharon Newman has been an unwitting player in Ian Ward's and Jordan's devious scheme from the start. At the same time, Phyllis Summers is set on making her longtime rival pay for the chaos she has caused in her life. That's classic Phyllis, right? And then Nick Newman supported Sharon during the I Killed Heather Stevens scandal and the I Ran Phyllis Off the Road event. Nick even supported her through the strange "how did I end up in a sewer" situation. So is there any other ending possible than the romantic chic reunion Sharon has always dreamed of? Passing the torch, new flame lit, but not that kind. After his recent close call with death, Victor Newman realizes he needs to sort out his affairs, who will take over Newman Enterprises, Newman Media, and other ventures. Let the family drama begin, and all the infighting, deciding who to take the torch. Speaking of other types of torches and flames, Lily Winters is definitely due for some good luck in love. It seems that luck might be coming her way. She has been divorced from Kane Ashby, rejected by Billy Abbott, and betrayed by Daniel Romalotti. The show reveals that when she encounters a newcomer in town, she initially keeps her guard up, New love, old love, crisis averted. Lily is starting to open her heart to someone new, likely either Nate Hastings' half-brother, Damien King, or possibly his imposter Holden, who arrived first. Meanwhile, her ex-husband Kane returns to Genoa City, claiming he has changed and sharing old selfies of them together. In another storyline, Jack Abbott tries to give Billy some advice as he seeks revenge on Victor. However, it seems Jack might feel like he's just talking to a wall instead of getting through to his brother about the uselessness of his quest for revenge. Hasn't Victor been through enough, shot close range by Ian? Secrets and situations. When Damien makes his entrance in Genoa City to meet Nate, he doesn't merely bring a couple of suits and a toothbrush. Instead, the storyline hints that Damien has his own set of secrets to unveil. It seems he's going to blend in seamlessly. Meanwhile, when Chelsea Lawson challenges Adam Newman regarding his true intentions about their relationship and what lies ahead, will she be pleased with his responses? That's uncertain, especially since they both seem to have overlooked the lessons learned from their past betrayals of Billy and Sally Spectra. Objections and second thoughts. Victor is pretty bold, let's be honest. He's particularly vocal about wanting his newfound granddaughter Claire Newman to steer clear of Kyle Abbott. Can you figure out the implications? Pitting one granddaughter against the other. The show suggests that Victor's interference in Claire's happiness with Kyle could open the door for him to reconnect with Summer Newman. She's currently navigating life on her own and questioning whether she should have fought harder for her marriage. Ladies' man and a walk on the wild side. As Phyllis and her family try to rebuild their lives following her brush with death, Heather's tragic murder, and Summer's breakup with Chance Chancellor, keep an eye on Daniel. He ventures into uncharted emotional territory. Meanwhile, Elena Dawson, sidelined since her split from the unfaithful Nate, might find herself in a casual fling with Daniel. This connection could lead to some surprising emotions for both of them. After all, there's no remedy for heartache, is there? Just making sure, although for Elena, it's too long for a rebound for Daniel. Not so much. Channeling evil grandmas and skeletons falling out of their closets? Lucy Romalotti has been through quite a lot, and let's be honest, her behavior hasn't always been exemplary. Now she's poised to become the new Sheila Carter of the show, following in the footsteps of her grandmother. Perhaps it's wise for her to steer clear of the beekeeping club at school. We had a feeling that Audra Charles still had a few skeletons lurking in her closet. You can almost set your watch to the revelation. It's coming soon. The real question is how Nate will react. After all, his own history isn't exactly spotless either. A haunting she will go. Jordan might not have received the conclusion that Colleen Zank envisioned. However, perhaps that's not the final chapter. It's possible that Claire's aunt will linger in her life, reminiscent of Cameron Kirsten. Claire's guilt could manifest as her ghostly aunt, nudging her to accept the shadowy path that drove her to spike a cup of tea with a lethal dose of sleeping pills. But was it enough to silence a lunatic for good? Trouble ahead and muddled middles. Sally is far from thrilled about the prospect of Billy teaming up with Phyllis, and honestly, who could blame her? Their past is riddled with betrayal, having once been so infatuated with each other that they turned on Jack to pursue their affair. But what options does Sally have to thwart this partnership? Even though her relationship with Nick ended on rocky terms, she's determined to persuade him to steal Phyllis away from Billy. However, if Nick decides to get involved, it could throw a serious wrench into the much-anticipated reunion of Schick. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Summer Newman could go to extremes when it comes to her upcoming mission to reunite with Kyle Abbott. Summer was once a masterful schemer, so maybe it's time for her to revisit her roots. We're talking about someone who used her life-saving liver donation for Lola Rosales as leverage to get Kyle Abbott to marry her. Summer has evolved in many ways since then, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Y and R spoilers indicate that Summer will prove she's Phyllis Summer's daughter in the storyline that's looming. We'll see Summer embrace some of Phyllis' qualities and strategies, so trouble could be brewing. Summer and Kyle's problems first started back when Phyllis faked her demise and framed Diane Jenkins Abbott to take the fall for it. Diane got arrested due to the setup, so Kyle wasn't happy when Summer found out Phyllis was alive and didn't come clean right away. That was the beginning of the end for Kyle and Summer's marriage, but she'll hope to fix their relationship down the road. What if Summer takes a page out of Phyllis' playbook and frames Claire Newman for a crime, perhaps one that involves preying on Kyle's love for his mother? Kyle is still working on fully forgiving Diane after all the drama that's played out in recent months, but he's getting there. Regardless, Kyle loves Diane and would panic if anything terrible happened to her. Unfortunately, more problems could be brewing since Diane will worry about Victor Newman targeting Kyle due to his relationship with Claire. That could leave Diane pushing for Claire and Kyle's breakup, which might work in Summer's favor. It'd give Claire a motive to want Diane gone and work for Summer's plot. At some point, Summer might pry the truth out of Nikki Victoria Newman about Claire's poison trap for Jordan. Jordan may have decided to drink it on her own, but Claire's still the one who tainted the tea. Perhaps Summer could use that info to her advantage and set up a situation where it looks like Claire's back at her poisoning game. Summer might set a trap of her own and make it seem like Claire's trying to eliminate Kyle's mother next. Summer might even come up with a scenario where she can play the hero and save Diane from a poisoned beverage. Of course, Summer would have to make sure there's no legitimate danger involved in her trickery, but she could be careful and pull it off. Then again, maybe Summer could position herself as Claire's victim and earn Kyle's sympathy. If Summer fakes a medical episode and accuses Claire of poisoning her, she could make it seem like Claire wants her out of the way to be Harrison Abbott's only mother figure. Would Kyle buy that under the right circumstances? Could Kyle worry that Claire's gone off the deep end due to her latest round of Jordan trauma? Whatever the case, our predictions hint that we may see a sneaky side of Summer in the coming months. Perhaps a side of her that's willing to cross major lines to get what she wants. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Summer will have to make some updates to her tactics along the way, so stay tuned for any alarming news to come. It's the place to be for fantastic Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so make us your favorite Y and our hotspot. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates reveal February sweeps is just around the corner, a time when soap operas unleash their most intense drama and turmoil. Interestingly, the final weeks of January have already been packed with the kind of excitement typically reserved for sweeps in Genoa City. Where are Tessa Porter and Aria? The tension has reached a boiling point in the small town, with Jordan's treacherous end and Ian Ward's showdown at the Newman Ranch. Fans are on the edge of their seats, speculating that Ian's fate may soon be sealed. But this raises a pressing question. What will become of Tessa Porter and her daughter, Aria Copeland Porter? The mother and child vanished during the episode on Monday, January 27, leaving Maria Copeland in a panic. She rushed back to Sharon Newman's home, only to discover that her wife and daughter were nowhere to be found. Ian Ward's the prime suspect, but what if he didn't do it? Maria, like many fans of Y&R, is convinced that Ian is the mastermind behind the recent chaos. But what if that assumption is off the mark? Could there be an unexpected twist regarding the mysterious disappearance of Tessa and Aria, along with a new threat lurking in the shadows of Genoa City? Spoilers for Y&R suggest that Ian will be shot in the episode airing on Wednesday, January 29. But will he succumb to his injuries right away? Will he reveal to Victor Newman and Nick Newman the whereabouts of Tessa and Aria before it's too late? Or will he savor the moment, taunting them with the knowledge of their loved one's location, only to take that secret to the grave? Ian Ward denied culpability. Is there someone else involved? On the Tuesday, January 28 episode, Ian firmly rejected any claims of his involvement in the kidnapping of Tessa and Aria. But what if he maintains this denial, even in his final moments? Could there be a glimmer of truth in his words? Might an unseen antagonist have crept into the GC narrative, snatching Maria's wife and child without the audience's knowledge? With Ian and Jordan no longer in play, the soap could certainly benefit from a fresh, nefarious character to shake things up. This new villain could range from the returning Ben Stitch Rayburn to a completely new character. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Victor Newman's had a close call that could have ended his life recently. Victor got lucky since he survived the showdown with Ian Ward and now has a chance to recover from his injuries. However, this might be a good time for Victor to start thinking about retirement again. Y and R fans know Victor has tried to retire before, but he eventually grew bored with sitting around the ranch and couldn't resist a dramatic Newman Enterprises comeback. Victor always thinks he knows best, so he enjoys running the show at the family business and bossing his children around. That said, Victor's ordeal has really shaken up Nikki Newman and the rest of his loved ones. Adam Newman pointed out that Victor wouldn't be around forever, so this close call with Ian could be a reminder to live life to the fullest. It wouldn't be surprising if Victor chose to take a step back from Newman for good this time. That's especially true if Nikki Newman were to give Victor the final push he needs. Victor would do just about anything for Nikki, so he'd probably be willing to kick off a retirement chapter if she pushed hard enough. If that's the case, we could be gearing up for yet a major corporate shakeup at Newman Enterprises. This could kick off another round of fighting among the Newman siblings, particularly if Victor makes a controversial choice. Victor's relationship with Adam has improved a great deal, so could he ultimately pick Adam to lead Newman into the future? What if Adam becomes the sole CEO of Newman Enterprises? You can bet that Victoria Newman would throw a fit, and it's doubtful Nick Newman would approve either. Nikki would also question Victor's judgment if he put Adam completely in charge, but Victor might do it anyway. Regardless, retirement could be ahead for Victor, so we'll bring you more predictions on what that might mean for Newman Enterprises. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor could make some updates to the C-suite, so stay tuned for more news on any upcoming decisions. Genoa City had always been a place where secrets lingered just beneath the surface. In this thriving Midwestern town, where ambition and legacy intertwined, family ties often blurred the line between loyalty and betrayal. For months, the spotlight had centered on Kyle Abbott, one of the prominent heirs to the Abbott dynasty, and his elusive partner, CLA. Their romance was something of a local obsession, a whirlwind of passion and mystery that captivated everyone, from the Abbott boardroom to the downtown coffee house. But a grim shadow now hung over them both, casting doubt on whether their love would survive, or if they would even choose each other in the end. At the heart of this turmoil was a single horrifying truth. CLA had killed someone. Not just anyone, she had killed Jordan. A fact that weighed heavily on her conscience and threatened to shatter her delicate bond with Kyle. In the wake of this revelation, CLA's bright smile and magnetic charm faded rapidly. She was tormented by guilt and the burden of her own actions, and no amount of comfort from Kyle could shield her from the nightmares that replayed the moment she took Jordan's life. Strangely enough, while many in Genoa City questioned CLA's background, no one truly knew the extent of her secrets. Even her real name remained a mystery. Some claimed she had ties to the Newman family through Victoria Newman, the formidable businesswoman and daughter of Victor Newman. Yet whispers swirled that this connection was nothing but a convenient fabrication. Those rumors were easy to ignore at first, but Genoa City was not known for turning its back on scandal. Speculation only intensified every time CLA stepped out in public. The attention was palpable. Could Kyle really stand by a woman who was not only accused of murder, but who might also be lying about her entire identity? In a dramatic twist, Chelsea makes a stunning revelation in The Young and the Restless. She's pregnant. Fans are left wondering, who is the father? Could it be her ex-husband, Adam Newman, with whom she shares a complicated and tumultuous history? As the story unfolds, Chelsea's unexpected pregnancy shakes things up. And with Valentine's Day approaching, the tension between Chelsea and Adam reaches new heights. After a long period of personal struggles, Chelsea made the decision to move into Adam's old farmhouse, bringing their son, Connor, along with the hope of creating a stable environment. But was this decision truly for Connor, or was it to be closer to Adam, whom she still has deep, unresolved feelings for? Though Chelsea has tried to maintain distance from Adam, their encounters have been anything but casual. The lingering passion between them has not disappeared, despite both of them attempting to deny it. Their past is filled with intense love and heartbreak, and now, with the two of them living under the same roof again, emotions are bound to resurface. Can they continue to fight their feelings, or will they eventually give in to the chemistry that has always existed between them? The dynamics between Chelsea and Adam are further complicated by the looming presence of Sally Spectra, Adam's recent romantic interest. Sally brought excitement and a sense of renewal to Adam's life, but Chelsea's return has left Adam torn between his past with Chelsea and his future with Sally. Will Adam reconcile with Chelsea, or will he choose to continue his relationship with Sally, who understands him in a way Chelsea never could? The pregnancy announcement comes as a game-changer, throwing even more uncertainty into the mix. As Valentine's Day draws near, could this be the moment when Chelsea and Adam finally confront their feelings for one another? Will Chelsea allow herself to forgive Adam for the pain he caused her and embrace the possibility of a future together, or will their tumultuous past keep them apart for good? With everything on the line, the upcoming episodes promise a roller coaster of emotions as Chelsea and Adam face their unresolved feelings, and viewers are left on the edge of their seats, wondering what will happen next. As they navigate the complexities of love, trust, and family, the question remains, can Adam and Chelsea rekindle their romance, or will they remain trapped in a cycle of pain and disappointment? The answers may come sooner than expected, but only time will tell if they can overcome the past and build a future together, or if the heartbreak is simply too much to overcome.